Good Thursday morning, April 3rd, 2025. We got a potential severe outlook today. This is a sneaky day because it won't take much instability to cause a concern for maybe some windy conditions as well as a potential isolated tornado. It is isolated. The chances of it happening in your backyard are low, but it does exist. It's kind of a sneaky threat day, as what some of my meteorologist friends have said. Depending on what model you're looking at, really depends on what's going on. So here's a short-term model. We're looking here. We're looking at the overall radar trends here and things, and you're not going to notice too much here on this short-term model. There are some storms skirting around to the north, but here in Northern Virginia, it's staying pretty dry. Things aren't really doing too much, just scattered showers, maybe some isolated thunderstorms, and so not looking terrible. I mean, this is all the way into Saturday, by the way. I should have said today. Today, it doesn't look like much of anything. I mean, if we look here, this is all Thursday. This is 10 a.m., 1, 2, 3. There's a few showers around. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nothing much at all. I mean, it's pretty much a dry day on this short-range model. So we do get a shower and thunderstorm today. It looks like it's going to be scattered at best. And this has to do with the fact that they don't see much instability because of warmer conditions, but there are some other short-term models that we can take a look at. So this is the HRRRR. It's just a short-term convective type of model. And here we go. So this is showing some showers in possibly around 10 or 11 a.m. this morning. We'll look at radar really quick here and a few to see if anything's around. But here we go, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it's this evening when a few stray showers and storms pop up. Again, like I said, it's not going to take much instability to potentially tap some of the severe capability that these could share. So we'll have to watch and see if they're, even possible. Doesn't look super bad here on this model either. It's just the deal with the atmosphere. The atmosphere is pretty primed for severe weather. So what they're saying today is we have a slight risk because we get just enough of some lift and some instability that maybe we could have some spinning thunderstorms. So here I'm just going through looking at the helicity or the potential spins in the atmosphere here on some of the model output for some of the severe capabilities. This is 6 p.m. this evening. You see these storms popping up and they're looking pretty impressive. So again, maybe they do bring some wind, maybe some threats of hail and maybe of an isolated tornado. It's just not widespread. So isolated is really the name of the game today, as far as any true storm threat or anything of that nature. And how much rain could we see? Overall, not a lot. We're looking only if you get a shower thunderstorm, would you get maybe a quarter to a half an inch or maybe less. So it's all about hit or miss. This is truly a hit or miss type of day. The shower and storm threat is there. It's just a matter of how much of a threat it is. If we happen to get any instability, then we'll have to start watching things. But as of now, it's really hard to tell if we're going to hit that scenario, that level to get that type of scenario to show up. All right, and here's a wider view. You can see here in Tennessee, Kentucky area down into the Louisiana, Arkansas, Louisiana. This area of the country just is going to get pounded by over and over again. Heavy showers and storms. And wow, it's just kind of a crazy setup because it's not moving the front that's there, and you're just getting pulse after pulse of energy, causing tons and tons of rain. We're talking like a foot or more of rain in some of these areas still. They had quite the severe weather outbreak yesterday. There's going to be day after day severe outbreaks today, tomorrow, and maybe into Saturday. Here's the stronger front that's going to finally show up for us as we go into Sunday, Monday. You see on the backside now there's cool air, but you see that low that originally was way down here on the model, so it's moved all the way up to the northwest. So not as much rain, but some rain around for sure. That's good news. That will help us in our drought situation, which we'll take a look at here. Follow-up wave would be great, and then the cold air comes next week. Cold, I mean highs in the 40s, not out of the question. More rain possibly towards Thursday next week. We need all the rain we can get. This has been now showing up regularly here on the forecast of this potential nor'easter building. This would be great news. This would be a soaking rain. Interior mountain regions in the northeast, you get some heavier snow. Again, it brings in the colder air and the winds in for the following weekend. Of course, for the weekend. Why would it be nice on the weekend? But this is a cold spell here. And you see that pivoting of the really cold air just to our north. But it's sticking around here. So we're going to be in the 40s on Tuesday, I think. And then maybe again next weekend. Cold air is going to have a hard time getting shifted out of here. But as soon as it does, we should warm up nicely. And unfortunately, it looks pretty dry in the long range. There are some showers around, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't look like organized precipitation here for our region. In the long run, I don't like the look of this high pressure. Not being able to move out of the way. But that's kind of like a trend I'm seeing. That's typical of spring where you have a hard time getting the cold air to truly leave our region, especially east of the mountains. So what are we looking at precip-wise? This is a GFS model output, and we're showing like a little over an inch, and that just all depends on how much rain we get out of those additional storms. But the official forecast from the National Weather Service is shown over the next 7 days around a half to an inch. So all these storms and everything else are having a hard time getting that moisture into that cool area that's damming east of the mountains. If we don't get the instability, we're not going to get the thunderstorms. If we don't get the thunderstorms, we're not going to get the heavier rain. So this is a 7-day outlook for the rain, and not a lot. We'll have to see. Any thunderstorm can overpower this and make this go much higher. So we got to hope that that happens. Why? Because we're in a drought. So almost all the county now is not in a moderate drought, but a severe drought now for all of Loudoun. And we need a lot of rain to overcome our deficits. So we're really in need. And what this means is if we get warmer, which I don't think it will be for the next week and a half, probably 10 days or so. But when the warm air does come around, your yards are going to have a really hard time. So let's hope we get some better rains out of some of these systems. That low pressure on the GFS, that American model, comes to fruition because that could help us offset some of this to an extent. And I mentioned that colder temperatures in that 10 to 15 day period. Both these outlooks for those long range do show it cooler than normal in the east. Really, the precip outlook initially, like we said, kind of like this rainstorms over the next week, looks a little bit wet, and maybe some eagle chances, not as bad as it looked at one time. But I think the trend is towards drier conditions. We really need the rain. That's all I have for today. Have an awesome Thursday. Speaking of Loudoun County and Mid-Atlantic, really, weather outlook.